There are 5 official dwarf planets in our solar system. Don't worry, I checked. The closest to us is Ceres. You can find it lurking around the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, which is nearly 3 AUs away, about 250 million miles from a planetary body you may be familiar with, known as Earth. Ceres has a diameter of about 600 miles, which is roughly the distance from Boston to Washington, D.C. Discovered in 1801 by Giuseppe Piazzi, an Italian astronomer born in 1746, it was thought to be an asteroid until 2006, when it was reclassified as a dwarf planet. On September 27, 2007, the Dawn spacecraft was launched. Its mission was to check out Ceres and an even smaller body called Vesta, which was first observed in 1807 by a German astronomer named Wilhelm Olbers. Olbers was born in 1758, and Vesta is not a dwarf planet, or a planet. It's an asteroid that's about 300 miles in diameter. In 2011, the Dawn spacecraft finally reached Vesta, and by March 5th of 2015, it arrived at Ceres. The mission finally came to a close on November 1st, 2018, 10 days before my 19th birthday. Pluto is the name of Mickey Mouse's dog. It is also a former planet, now dwarf planet, given the new title in 2006 by the International Astronomical Union. Pluto has a diameter of about 1,400 miles. That's the distance from Boston to New Boston, Texas. Seriously. Pluto was discovered in 1930 by Clyde Tombaugh, who was born in 1906. Pluto orbits at about 40 AUs away, over 3.5 billion miles from the Sun. It has 5 moons, 4 of which are smaller than 100 miles across. Their names are Styx, Hydra, Kerberos, and Nix. The largest moon of Pluto, however, is the largest moon relative to the body it orbits. Its name is Charon, and it's about half the size of Pluto. The interior of Pluto is believed to be warm, and since its surface is mainly ice and rock, some speculate that it may even have a subsurface ocean. And lastly, from 1979 to 1999, Pluto crept in closer than the orbit of Neptune, to about 30 AUs, nearly 3 billion miles from the Sun. When Pluto's oval-shaped orbit brings it to its furthest point, however, it almost reaches 50 AUs out, over 4.5 billion miles away. Quaoar is not a dwarf planet. It's another Kuiper Belt object, but its diameter is estimated to be about 700 miles, making it around half the size of Pluto. It was first discovered in 2002, and it orbits roughly 42 AUs from the Sun, which is almost 4 billion miles. Quaoar has an extremely tiny moon known as Waywatt, which is believed to be about 1/2000th the size of Quaoar. Haumea is another Kuiper Belt object classified as a dwarf planet. It was supposedly discovered independently by 2 separate teams, one in 2003 and the other in 2004. Regardless, it has a diameter of about 800 miles. That's the distance from Boston to Indianapolis. Haumea has an average orbit of about 43 AUs, or about 4 billion miles. We hardly know anything about this icy world, but its shape is distorted probably due to its rotational speed. It has 2 moons, Hi'iaka and Namaka. Haumea is unique in the fact that it has a set of rings, which were discovered in 2017. It's the only Kuiper Belt object that we know of so far which has rings. Makemake is a dwarf planet discovered in 2005 by a few observers at the Palomar Observatory in California. Its diameter is about 900 miles, which is about the distance from Boston to Knoxville. Makemake orbits at about 46 AUs away, or almost 4.3 billion miles, making it another distant Kuiper Belt object. It may have two moons, but they're just too faint to say for sure what they are. There's not much information about this dwarf planet for the time being, but its surface is probably reddish. Maybe. Eris is a dwarf planet you may have actually heard of. It's super far out there, at about 68 AUs, or over 6 billion miles away. Eris is about the same size as Pluto, at about 1,400 miles in diameter, which is about the distance from Boston to Baton Rouge. This dwarf planet was discovered in the Palomar Observatory in California in 2003. It's believed that Eris is so far away from the Sun that its atmosphere collapses and freezes, but when it gets closer to the Sun, it thaws again. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but it sounds scary. It has a puny moon known as Dysnomia, and even though we call it Eris, it was originally nicknamed Xena. And finally, the discovery of Eris was one of the biggest reasons Pluto lost its title as an official planet. There's no doubt in my mind that we will come across many, many other astronomical bodies in the near future that inhabit the furthest reaches of our solar system into and well beyond the Kuiper Belt. Know that the most powerful tool for learning is interest. Let me know what you're interested in. Maybe I'll make a video about it. All my sources can be found in the description of this video, and thank you for watching. That was filthy.